Okay. Got it.
There's
Hi,
no cat
Steve.
on your
What?
bed. Hi, Steve.
I
I
know.
know.
I just looked back because Super's been there all day and she's gone. 11 cats and nobody on my bed.
I
Hi,
still have
Steve.
Dexter on the floor. How are you,
Of
Steve?
course.
We
Every time
want
we hit
to
record,
we
Dexter
want
shows
to
up.
do a little proposal for you. We already did one yesterday, but we were way too wordy because we're
It's way too
chatty.
wordy. It's way too wordy. Yeah. So, okay. So,
Linda's
first
gonna keep
thing,
us on track.
yes, she's trusting me to, yeah, okay.
I was thinking that coming up
Um,
the stairs. Linda's the one
like
that's
putting a
keeping us on
kid in charge
track.
of the candy. So, okay. So the first thing I know Rita had mentioned to you, she had asked why training was in the course of the name.
A
I
B C
think
C T instead of
behaviorists, yes, behaviorists are getting really well known and are starting to get some respect. And I think people look for the word behavior, and I think that some people confuse the word training with circus cats, you
yeah.
know?
We've been
So,
are you going to be running
yeah.
a circus now? No.
Exactly. Yeah. So we're going to train them to jump through hoops. So, maybe behavioral training, behavior training, just our 2 cents on that. So then on what we want to offer.
Right.
So I think, well, briefly we talked about online courses and how tough they are, right? Like,
Yeah, they're really hard. I mean, I tried to get my psychology degree online, and I'm a smart cookie, but I just couldn't hang with it. I just couldn't learn anything. And then your son also had that experience, right?
yeah, we put him in virtual learning last year because of COVID after it wiped our family out. And he just, his grades tanked. He just needs a human being. And I know I work that way. Analogies. So like when I'm
Yeah.
reading, I'm trying to figure out an analogy that goes with that, a trick to remember the terms. And I just think a human being really helps with that.
Sure.
So,
We
we
did
talked about,
well. We did well in the course though, because we have the background. I think if we
yes.
had come into it cold with no background in cat behavior, we might not have done as well in the curriculum.
Yeah. Well, that's where it helps because as we're reading these things, I can think of times that this has happened with my cat, times that I've dealt with this with a behavior client's cat.
Right.
Whereas if they're coming in fresh, they might not be able to. And it's an amazing course, and we're so grateful for
Oh
it.
yeah, it's awesome.
You truly taught us things we didn't know and taught us that there were names for things that we knew that we didn't know
We
we
didn't
knew.
know we knew them. Yeah.
So yes, so I'm thinking, we talked about doing an intro video for starters and saying, who we are and this course and and what you could do and why you're doing it. One of the big facts that I like to share that I found when digging is the number of cats that are surrendered. So there's approximately 3.2 million cats surrendered to shelters every year. Now that's not including the ones that were caught out, just kicked out in a given to another private home or put in a private rescue. These are just shelters, so 3.2, and they estimate that 42% of those are due to behavior issues. So we're talking about 134,400 cats every year sent to a shelter for something that we could probably help with
That's just in
upon
the United
completing this
States,
course and getting
right?
to work just in the United States, just in one year, just in shelters. So, congratulations on starting this course. You can literally save lives. This is a passion. So that is an introductory. So
That's the
then,
other thing too we need to make clear to the people taking the course. It's got to be a passion. It's not some hobby. I see things online. I don't know if you have when searching for cat behavior. Um, do this part time in your spare time. Make this your hobby. No, it's not a hobby.
it's
It's
not
a
a
serious
hobby.
job.
If you want to do it part time and limit your clients, that's fine. But yeah,
Sure,
it's not a hobby.
not a
This isn't
hobby.
like knitting. Yeah. So then we talked about a short video for each section. So, example, if we're talking about a behavior section, saying, pay attention to this, medical, it says in the book that the vet is your first stop. And this is what we say to all of our
Sure.
clients when they write, how long has your cat's been to the vet? And we can give examples like UTIs cause pain. They get in the litter box, they feel the pain, so they want to avoid the litter box. So the vet check, even if the people don't think that's a problem, really needs to be number one. And then the fact is, even if it is, let's say our litter box avoidance was due to a UTI, we got it cleared up. This may have now
A
become
habit. And then
a
you have to
habit.
help them break the habit and entice them back into the litter box. So it's not
Yes.
just it's not just getting rid of and curing the medical problem. It's
Yes.
the residual behaviors that resulted.
Yeah. And we've told clients this, regarding PP issues, like get it to the vet. If it is a UTI, get it cleared up, but keep us on speed dial just in case that doesn't clear it
Sure.
up. Please understand that that doesn't mean the UTI wasn't cleared up. This is what happens, that kind of thing. So, giving examples, giving ideas of things, I often keep things around my favorite calming aids. I just got more cat calm in the mail from the two crazy cat ladies. And of course, our convivial house.
Yay.
I have a little piece of a scat mat, just different things that I can show and how to use them,
Yeah, that
and we can give
helps.
different examples. Yeah, it
People
really
learn
does.
different ways, and some people learn visually, and some need both. But I'm a visual learner, and
Yes,
yeah, and then also storytelling. Storytelling really cements an idea in your head.
yes,
Linda's really great at analogies. I have some of my own stories too,
yeah,
and I think some of those things can help really aid in somebody
yeah.
learning, not just
One of
how to do something, but why we're doing it.
But why? Yes, one of my favorites. I had gotten a question about the cat. He wanted to discipline the cat for, I don't remember, scratching the sofa or something. And I said, no,
Realize
okay,
we're
the cat is scratching because
there.
it's an instinct. So I want you to imagine this. I want you to imagine that you work in an office and your boss has just stopped by and said, you are to stay in that seat and work until 5 p.m. No exceptions. Do not get up from that seat. Now your stomach starts rumbling, right? And you're about to have some diarrhea. So you run to the bathroom and you come back and there's a disciplinary action slip on your desk. Are you going to feel like you did something wrong and take accountability for this? Or are you going to decide that your boss is a big old jerk? So yeah, jerk. so I said, your cat is acting on instinct, and if you discipline him, then we're going to really run into some problems where, he's just decided you're a jerk. So this is where we need to work on what we learned in the book,
Cat
that you've
psychology.
got, yes, and you've got that two-step of making it less desirable. I am a big fan of two-sided sticky tape. I have a stack right here for my couch, and then providing another post. So
That
these
is
kind of things, I
attractive.
think, yes, yes.
You're talking really fast. We're trying to make this short.
Ah,
Linda's on hyperdrive. It sounds like when we used to use Marco Polo and we put it on double time.
yes, yes, speed it up. So I just think these help kind of bring it around together. So if we did one of those for every chapter that they had
Right.
the option of looking at, then we
We
were
could do a
talking.
wrap up at the end of the chapter too. We can go through,
That's a really good
the
idea.
list where you have all the things that they should have learned, and we can go through them. Blah,
Yes, that's a
blah,
great
blah, blah,
idea.
and give an example of each of those
Yeah.
things.
And
Right?
then outside support, which can be an option, or, say every Tuesday we do an overview of chapter 1 and 2. Every Wednesday we do chapter 3, 4, whatever that students can attend and discuss with us and share. Rita had an amazing idea of role playing. What was your idea, Rita?
Well, when you first start doing something like this, especially if you're going into people's homes, it's still via Zoom. The first time you go to a client, you feel somewhat out of sorts, maybe like an imposter, imposter syndrome. Do I really know what I know? So I think doing some role playing where we act as the clients. We
Yes.
have a lot of cats, so we have a lot of real scenarios, and let somebody practice what they would say first, doing the
Yes.
intake of a call from a client, and then actually doing a session to make them feel
Yes.
more comfortable and more confident that they know what they know.
Yes, yeah, exactly. We did that in the cat sitting business. When training a receptionist, I would call and I would be the worst person on earth, which we've
Hmm.
dealt with. I mean, they were all real things, like,
Hmm.
the cat only drinks the Evian chilled water out of the fridge, and the cat this and the cat that, and I would really
Yeah,
run them through all these questions and things
yeah.
to get them comfortable and be prepared for the worst case
But the
scenario. And I
first time
think,
you did it, weren't you a little bit, when
oh,
you came
definitely.
from the Richard Simmons world into the cat behavior world? I'm sure at first you
Yes.
felt like a fish out of water, right?
Yes, and again, like, what if, I mean, several of our beginning sessions, I don't get that way anymore, thank you God.
No.
And thank you, Steve. But several of my sessions in the beginning, it was like, what if we can't help them? What if I don't have an answer for this? What if, And so, yeah, I think working through that is really valuable. And then after support being another thing. So there are things that the course really did a great job with, like
Yeah.
what your business needs to have in place, your plan, your thoughts, your marketing strategies. But there are other things that are going to come. You are going to become a marriage counselor. How many times have we become
Yes,
marriage
yes,
counselors?
yes, yes. At least 3.
Yeah, especially
It's
when
history.
boy and girl move in together and they each have a cat. We have seen problems that very much mimic step parent families of moving in their children.
My
You
child
know,
cat's perfect. No, my child cat's perfect. Yours
and
is
your cat is
raspberry.
being mean to my cat,
I
and
see
oh my
that.
gosh. And so, yeah, and problems when people won't work. So our most recent client that we're still dealing with, the boyfriend is just not in it to win it, and
No,
he's just
he's
not willing, and he's
nice.
mad, and he's angry. And yes, we watched his body language. I think that's an amazing thing to touch on. I know I was being my typical jokey self one time, and I could see that I was turning this guy off. So I went to a
I
much more
remember
professional
that.
demeanor. You know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I think that that is really an important component to this and setting them up for the business after they've graduated and got their
Yeah, you
certificate.
almost have to mirror the client's personality in a way in
Definitely,
order for them to
definitely.
start listening to you.
Yeah,
If they're not jokesters, you can't joke around, and
yeah.
you have to know what to look for.
Yes, and you got to be able to touch on that. Remember I got Jeffrey actually laughing we were
Ooh, you
talking
said
about.
his name. Well, it's okay. Only
Oh
Owen's
yeah, it's
gonna
just
see
just a
that.
name, Jeffrey. There's lots of Jeffreys, but
And then
anyway, Rita is
and then
going to be.
compassion fatigue a little bit too, because look, now I'm taking in a cat that I don't want to take in because they're about to euthanize. I can't do that for every single client we talk to. That would be crazy. So,
Yeah.
you've got to find ways to safeguard your own personal feelings
Yes.
and not feel
Yes.
like you're responsible if they make a decision that you don't agree with.
And places that you can reach out. So, we had a trouble client, and when Rita went to the vet recently, she asked her vet, Dr. Glenn,
It's the
so they've
same
tried this and they've
client.
tried that, they've tried that, it's the same client, and it's a trouble client. And, and he gave some really good advice. So being able to research, look into other things, look into breed information, look into, problems. I mean, Google is an amazing thing.
Yeah.
Being able to reach out, and we would even be willing to be able to reach out for,
Oh,
some
sure.
after support
And
within reason. Yeah.
And don't be afraid to say, I don't know, I've not seen this before, because nobody knows everything about cats. You talk to any behaviorist, if they tell you they know everything about cats, they're lying.
Liars. Yeah.
Because
Rita's had
nobody
like a
does.
zillion cats and then ran just for cats pet sitting for over 17 years. So she's seen every scenario possible.
We
I
thought.
have an escape artist cat. And when I told her he went up the chimney
I've never
and
seen that.
meowed because he was stuck until we got him out, she said, well, you've hit it. There's a new one on me. So I felt pretty proud that I was able to give her a scenario she hadn't seen. But yeah, you're going to run into crazy stuff. And so we're working with Deadpool on keeping him intellectually stimulated
He's
so he stops all these
appropriately
crazy.
named.
He's such a pain in the neck. I
Yeah.
love him, but Jiminy Christmas, he's put us through it. So that's the basic in a nutshell. We want to hear your ideas too,
For
and we're
sure.
willing to work with. If you want pieces of it, parts of it, you want to tweak it, whatever. We're so easy.
I
We're
guess
so
the
easy.
short synopsis is we love your course. We want to add to it. And we'd be proud to say we're part of your staff if you feel so inclined to add us to your
Yes.
staff.
Yes. We did give you a shout out. We're a part of the Cat Extravaganza, which will be airing in a couple of months. And Dr. Karen Becker
Yeah.
led the Zoom, and we did a session, and we gave ABC a shout out and told them that's where we got our certification. So,
Yay.
yeah, we're out here to spread the word. And, we'd love to discuss this more. We could do a podcast if you want to expand it in any way, your new offerings and what this
Oh,
is going to
we'd
do
love
for
to have you
people.
back on the podcast. See, that was way back when
Yes, please.
you offered to let me take the course for free. I think part of it was with the thought that we would do a follow-up podcast
Yes.
and talk
Yeah,
about
let's do it.
the course. And I think we
Yep.
should do that. Steve, I hope
Yep.
you're willing to do that. I would love
Yep.
that. Either before or after, if you adopt any of our additions to your course.
Yeah, regardless. I mean, if you don't want to take us up or if this is not the time, that's fine too. We still love you. We love the course. We'll still be happy to have you on the podcast and discuss
For
ABC and its
sure.
value more. So, yeah,
We
definitely.
need more behaviorists, for
So
sure.
we do. We need more behaviorists.
And,
We can't all. I mean, when you look at that number with shelters,
right.
134,400, the behaviorists that are working right now cannot take care of
No.
134,400 cats every year. And those are just the ones that are sent to shelters, not the ones that people
And
are
I
reaching
would
out.
love
So,
to
yeah.
have more behaviorists under our Cat Behavior Alliance umbrella too. I mean,
Yes.
I would love to. I know of one girl who just got certified through ABC, and she just couldn't wait to tell Linda and I. I don't know if she's gotten started yet, but she's just newly certified. I mean, we'd love to take those kind of people under our wing, work under our umbrella, and nurture them along.
Yeah, and add to our, as we get more and more clients, we're going to hit a point where we're going to say we can't handle everyone. So,
Right.
yeah, we'd love to have some ABC people with us, but we're almost to 20 minutes, so we got to stop. So,
Okay. Let us know what you think.
yes, yes, yes. And any thoughts you have, whatever's, whatever's. All right, sounds good.
Bye.
Bye, Steve.